All right, now we're going to hop into aligning yourself with your business. We've already gone through the first steps of your business. I've already shown you the benefits of why starting your business is so important, creating tax advantage, passive income. And now, as we're getting and starting those baby steps to building your business, a very important part of starting your business or beginning to build your business, I think, starts with you and aligning yourself with your business offering or your product. A lot of times, people trying to start a business and they think the business is failing because the product isn't good enough or they're not marketing good enough. And it may be a subtle thing, what I like to call aligning yourself with your business. Are you congruent with the product? When I was younger, I got my life insurance license when I was 17. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but in my license, I was wearing a white t-shirt and my hair was all twisted because I thought I wanted to have some dreadlocks back then. And so I didn't realize that I wasn't selling life insurance policies because I was bad at it or because I didn't know what I was talking about. I wasn't selling life insurance because at 17, most of the people I was talking to or trying to offer to were either a stranger that didn't know me, that looked at me like, why are you trying to sell life insurance? You don't look like a life insurance salesman. And people who knew me who were like, all this time in your life and now all of a sudden you're selling life insurance. So Mel, could you speak to the importance of making sure you are in alignment with your offering or your business when you begin to market yourself in the beginning and put yourself out there for what you want to do in business?
Well, I mean, really and truly aligning yourself is one of the very first steps you should look to do. It's probably, in some cases, it comes before you can even think of a name for your business. Whatever practice that you decide to go into, you definitely want to become a student of that particular industry. If you are looking to get into possibly owning a minor league sports team, well, obviously you want to align yourself with those who are in the athletic profession. You want to align yourself. You want to be able to stand right next to some community college coaches, some high school coaches. You want to put yourself within that realm, and you want to make yourself very much abreast with the dialogue and the lingo and all the terminology that's relative to your industry. That way, when you're able to move on and to begin to move on into those spaces, now you're able to walk the walk and talk the talk. And that way, people will take you with a bit of legitimacy and be able to hear you and listen to you and be able to give you everything that you need, whether if you're looking for customer conversion or if you're just looking for somebody just to be able to reciprocate an email back to you. Aligning yourself is very, very important. Obviously, if you want to go into politics, you want to make yourself very acquainted with educators and community leaders and law practitioners. And of course, you won't be able to do those types of things walking into those particular buildings, per se with skinny jeans on and Jordans and stuff like that. So obviously, you want to, you want to be able to sprucing up the image. Don't be afraid to throw on a sports coat or maybe even a tie or, things like that. Just maintain a sense of professionalism in whatever industry that you decide to want to navigate into for your entrepreneur endeavors.
I mean, I think you said something very good, legitimacy. It kind of goes all the way back to that, old saying that first impressions matter, you know. You
That's
can
right.
have all the knowledge in the world, you can have all the expertise in the world, but when people first see you, they're going to make an impression, based on their own experience, of their own insights of what they perceive to be what that business is about, what that product is about. And what I call it is putting on your uniform. If
That's
you
right.
go play sports or football or something like that, you have to have your pads, you have to have your helmet, you have to be ready to play. So when it comes down to business and aligning yourself with your business, you can't be afraid to go buy that sweater vest, get that tie. Like you said, if you're going to do something maybe in fashion, you want to be able to stand next to the people and be in alignment with what you're talking about. You can't feel like who you are as a person is just wrapped up in your clothes or just wrapped up in, what you feel like is your style. Your style might not be in alignment with the business or the product. So you have to learn now to have almost two places you be. You're with yourself in your style, but then you have to put on your uniform to go do what you need to do in your business. Now, one thing I can say is a lot of people who are really successful after their success is built, they can then begin to change the way the business is seen, the way people dress in the business, the way people move in the business. But that's once you've reached a certain level of influence. You have to enter where the business already is, align yourself, put your uniform on so that you can be successful when you're first starting out. Remember, you're just starting out. So you have to, like Mel said, study the industry, see how these people walk, move, talk, the lingo, the jargon, and begin to line yourself up so that when you enter the room, when you enter the space, or you present yourself to the customer, you are right there with legitimacy to make your success start in the proper place. And then you can rise and be more self-expressive. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with shedding if that's what you would consider it as, if one would consider it as a perception. There's nothing wrong with shedding that bit of perception once you've gained the trust of the public and consumers. But initially, you have to get yourself in the door. And quite honestly, I'll use a restaurant for example. Um, if they perceive themselves to be a high end burger joint, I'm gonna walk in and I'm going to expect to smell, the aroma of beef and a fresh grill and things like that. Now, once you gain the trust, then you can begin to change the aesthetic of everything that it is that you want to be. But initially, if you want to grab the attention of a burger connoisseur such as myself, you have to get me in there. I have to be able to smell those aromas. I have to be able to feel like I'm going to sit there and I'm going to taste something delicious.
Mm. I mean, I think it's also like equal to maybe a dress code at a school, or attire requirements for an event or a particular business. Like a certain club, you have to wear certain kind of clothes to be able to get in the club. No ball caps, no sneakers. If you go to a particular school, you have to wear your school uniform to be able to attend school that day. If you're going to a black tie affair, no matter how knowledgeable and how great you are and how wonderful you are, you can't walk in there in your jeans and your t-shirt and be like, well, because of my credentials, I don't have to dress the part. There is a dress code. So in certain industries and certain businesses and certain things you're doing, really in all of them, there is kind of a more than a dress code. There's almost a self code. How are you coming into this space, and are you, like you said, legitimate, aligned, so that people take you seriously and you don't have to try and overcome an obstacle that's unnecessary, that can simply be solved with maybe a different outfit, a different way of speaking, and a different way of being, where your core self is still intact, but you have your uniform on to be successful. So I think that was great. I know that the student really kind of understands that, and we're going to move on. But excellent, excellent, excellent wisdom, sir.
Thank you.